What's going on, everybody? It's Jamal with Up North Renovations. We're back again at our Tonawanda project. We thought we would have it more together for you right now, but it actually works out because we can kind of explain the point that we're at in closing out a project, particularly with the finishes. Right now, we got some of our guys out here doing a little bit of trim molding and some painting, but back in here, we have set our shower diverter, and we are ready to put in our shower head along with the neck that goes along with it. So we got all of our tile installed. We wanted to have the drain installed, but it wasn't actually set properly, so we actually had to take out some of the tiles around the drain to reset it properly so that it'll fit flush, and we'll have the matching gold trim that goes along with it instead of the prepackaged, I think it's brushed nickel finish. So that's something important that brings the continuity of a space together is the finishes, right? So you want to have things that are of like kind. You don't want to have, like, let's say a matte black handle on your shower diverter and then a brushed nickel finish for the shower head and then something different maybe for the drain color. You want to keep everything consistent so it just ties it all together. And that goes the same for things like your door. So our door hinges aren't in yet, but we are going to get the brushed bronze. Is it bronze or brass? Gotta check that. But it'll basically match everything else that's in the bathroom. The same thing goes for our vanity light. I don't know if that's too close to zoom in, but our vanity light is going to go here, and right below, obviously, for our vanity, we'll have the faucet. So all of that will be matching with every other metal finish in this space. As far as the color scheme goes, we got the floor covered up right now just because we got painting going on and we don't want paint splatter to damage the tile because it is a special order and it'll take weeks to get here if we have to order more. Luckily, we ended up with just the right amount. We ended up with only one tile left, so we got lucky on that one. But when you are ordering things, keep in mind that you want to order more than what you need, just because a lot of times when stuff arrives, either you're getting it shipped to the warehouse that you're buying it from or shipped to the owner's house, things may show up broken, and that can set back the timeline for an entire project just because a couple tiles or a window or something else is, it arrives damaged. So when it comes to things where there's multiple items, definitely want to order more than what you need because you never know what can happen. But back to the finishes. So after we get all of our light fixtures and stuff up, now that we have the painting done, we can start to put in our metal finishes, mainly for our shower and then our shower glass. So the shower glass, I think, is it's a clear panel glass, but I think the brackets are actually matte black just to match with the floor, and that's the only thing that'd be different. We may talk to the homeowner about switching those out. Oh, you can go through. Might have to step out of here because Steph has to do a little cutting with the saw. But on the outside, now, before you could see straight through, and then it was just a big wall of dust. But now it's all starting to come together with our molding up and our final coats of paint going on. But yeah, now the space is complete except for the finishes. So one thing I do want to bring attention to, I talked a little bit the last time about our light switches, but I forgot to mention also about our, excuse me, we got a lot going on in that tight space. Alignment, right? So with our vanity light going here and then our faucet going here, you want to align your faucet with the light and the mirror that is set to be right here. You don't want to have things zigzagging all over the place because it looks like, it doesn't belong. You want something that's really deliberate when you're planning your stuff out. So, take that extra few minutes. If you're not using plans, which we didn't for this bathroom, it was kind of just designed by us and the homeowner, we made sure we took the time to align the electrical box with our drain pipe, which sits directly in the middle of our two supply lines. This T is just temporary. But so that when we go to put all that in, everything will look nice and flush and straight. Huh? Another part to any construction site is where do you store your tools at, right? For us, we do a lot of renovations, mostly all renovations. So usually we have to find a spot in the home to store our tools while we're working, or a place to set up for work. Luckily, this client allowed us to set up in their garage. So going back to finishes, something that you need as a finisher, especially with carpentry, miter saw, right? We run on the wall for most of our tools. That's the platform for our battery operated things. This is a plug-in, so it goes in a regular 110 volt outlet, but we run on a 12-inch miter saw to cut all our baseboard, window trim, and our crown moldings. The reason for that is the 12-inch blade provides for a lot better cuts when you have those larger casings or moldings. And yeah, so you always want to be able to keep your workspace just like a workshop, keep it clean and functional. So we have multiple outlets running from the wall, but we keep all our tools, I know it may look a little messy, but all our tools organized, or at least out of a pathway where people won't trip and fall over a bag or a box, or tools just clumped up all over the place. Tool cleanliness is not only a safety issue, but then it says to the client that we know obviously this is your garage or your basement or something like that, but we care about your home even though we're creating a lot of dust, a lot of debris and stuff. And then on that side of it too, you want to make sure that you're cleaning up every night. So after we finish working, which will be in about, it's 2:30 right now, about another 30 minutes, we'll clean up everything and then leave it as if we weren't even here, aside from the fact that you can see all the tools sticking out. But you don't want to be leaving dust and little particles and stuff all over the carpet. So things like all this that you see in the carpet, we sweep that up or vacuum it up with the shop vac. And then all the sawdust and stuff, and just leave it like it was, because you don't want people to have to, you're already in their house, so you don't want them to feel uncomfortable in their home any more than you have to, right? You want them to still be able to use their house to the best of their potential, even when you pack up for the day and then go home. That's just something we always like to keep in mind. Keep our work area nice and organized and keep our stuff out of the way of the client's way, because as you can see, they use this pretty much on the daily. So we don't want to impede on them whatsoever. Today we are back on Garner. I don't think you guys have seen this project except for a couple shots on Instagram, but let me just give you a little overview of what's going on. This is a project, actually it was initially a flip, but this is going to be a buy and hold for myself. Right now we are just in the midst of finishing everything up. It's been about 7 months we've been here. We took a little intermission in between to handle and close out some other projects, but now we are back and doing all our finishes. So our moldings, right here we got our stair newels going in. So Pete is on the table saw over here cutting things up, and we should be able to get these installed later on today. But yeah, pretty much everything. We have all of our flooring, our painting is in, besides our final touch-up paint. All of our plumbing fixtures are in cabinets and stuff like that. So it's really just down to the last punch list items. But let me walk you through here. What we got going on is we are refinishing our stairs. So originally, or not originally, these are still oak. But what we did, we just sanded them down because we are going to refinish them and basically restore them back to their natural beauty. So Pete sanded these down and we are installing new newels. Now I know one is pine and one is oak, but they're going to be painted, so once they're finally done and refinished, people won't really be able to tell. But we have newel posts going on either side, going up, and then we are going to run cable railings on the outside of these, so to give it more of a contemporary modern look once you open the door and enter into the house. So follow me upstairs real quick. We got another set of railings right here and a railing going across just to bring this up to code. But it is 2 bedrooms up here, decent sized rooms, and you can see we got all our recessed lights in. We just gotta cut them out and pop them up in the drywall. But new windows throughout the entire house. So even though this is a flip and some stuff was salvageable, we decided that it would be much better just from an efficiency standpoint and a aesthetic standpoint if we just replaced all of those. So that's what we decided to do. We got a little bit of a touch-up paint to do here in our replacement windows, but like I said, we wanted to bring everything up to a fresh new aesthetic. So we put new vinyl floors throughout, so those are going to be water resistant and scratch resistant. So if you got any young families coming in, they don't have to worry about little kids spilling water or scratching stuff with their toys on a hardwood floor. This is an upstairs bathroom. We have a full shower and tub in here, and a toilet and a linen closet. We got to do a little bit of work on this door though, because it's not closing properly like the way I would want it to. But this was originally a 1.5 bath. So downstairs there's another bathroom that we actually bumped out the wall and added a walk-in shower into, which I'll take you to in a minute. But back to this one, we kept the color scheme the same throughout both of them. So we added a porcelain tile in the shower and on the floor. It's the same porcelain tile. That helped a little bit. Alright. Yeah, work comes first. But we added 2 porcelain tiles in both the shower and on the floor. The reason for that is it's just much more durable because this will be rented out. So as it being a rental property, we wanted it to be durable but also have the aesthetic that we were going for, and I think we kind of nailed it. This has a little bit of cleanup, so some of that grout, that'll come off after we sponge it down, but I'm overall very happy with the way that this came out. It was a big task adding in a bathroom and trying to remodel one at the same time for us, being that some of my guys have never done this before. So like I said, I'm extremely happy with the way it came out. But let's go back downstairs real quick. We got Pete finishing up those vehicles, so we got to run through real quick so he can get back to work because you can't hear when he has the saw in the vacuum room. But here's our mobile office. Also doubles as a kitchen. So we use the penny towel backsplash because it is very, very efficient and trendy. And we did stainless steel finishes throughout. So I don't know if you remember from a previous episode when we were in Tonawanda, we were talking about having matching finishes. So we wanted to have that continuity with our cabinet knobs and our finishes for our bathrooms and kitchens. So that's what we got going on. Also, our door hinges are all stainless steel. We'll go back here in a second. So into the bathroom, which is a bit of a mess, but this is the bathroom I was talking about upstairs where we actually bumped this out. So the bathroom itself ended about right here, and then what we did was we added about another 3.5 feet to add in this walk-in shower. So the glass is gonna come in a few weeks so we can put it down. And we use the same tile as upstairs. So it is the same 2 foot by 1 foot or 24 inch by 12 inch porcelain tile. And we use it on the floor in here and on the walls in the shower. And once again, I think it came out really good. The only thing we did a little bit different is we just added a shower niche. So after framing this out, we realized that there wasn't a lot of storage in this bathroom to begin with, and for people to possibly be using both showers at the same time, we wanted to provide a space where they can put soap bars or shower gel, whatever your preference is, and not have to sit that on the floor of the shower or on the outside of the shower like a lot of people do. That struggle if you don't have storage in your shower of having to always reach down for something or having to pick up a soggy loofah or whatever washcloth, whatever it is you use when you go to get into a shower. But yeah, overall, it looks like a mess right now because we got a lot of sawdust around from doing trim carpentry. We added in some new windows in here as well, and some finished molding or casing. Once we get it cleaned up and we do the final reveal, I promise it will look a lot different. So on to this last part, or actually let me talk a little bit more about the kitchen. The kitchen layout, we kept it mostly the same. The only difference is we just took out this wall right here because there's actually an entire wall with a door here. So once we took that out, we added in this peninsula. We got it covered up right now and it's actually not sealed, but we're gonna seal it with tung oil. It's a butcher block countertop. And then this will be painted to match the rest of the wall, so it will give it that continuity. But we added this in to provide some counter space because it is somewhat of a small square footage from the living room / dining room into the kitchen. So in order to make it feel more open and a more spacious space, we took this wall out, and now you can see from the back of the house all the way to the front of the house, and it doesn't feel like you kind of sectioned off. The reason for that being is this house is built in 1900, I believe, and back then, people used houses a lot differently than they do now. Everything was much more compartmentalized. So in today's world, today's aesthetic, people want more open spaces. So that was just our way of opening it up and making it seem like it was a lot bigger than the space actually is. It's a 1,300 square foot house. So, not a whole lot of space, but we tried to maximize every inch of it by adding in, like I said, the bathroom, expanding it out and making it into a full bathroom so people don't have to fight over who uses the bathroom at what time. If they're going to school or work, there'll never be an issue of who gets in the bathroom first because they can use either or at the same time. So stainless steel appliances are coming. We got our microwave that's gonna go over our stove, which will be right here where this door is at right now. We are refinishing this door. This is probably one of the only things that we kept, and I think maybe one of the windows back here. Aside from that, there was not much that was kept in this house, like I stated previously. But our stove goes here, and then we will have a microwave range that will be added above. That was kind of a change order or an audible, so to speak. We originally thought we were just gonna have a over-the-counter microwave, but we decided that that we're going for a more contemporary look, it would be much more functional to add that in. So we're gonna call our HVAC guy to come and run our duct work, because luckily on the opposite side of this wall is just the exterior of the house, so it'll be nothing to drill through the wall and then add a vent duct for that exhaust to go outside. And then in the opposite corner we will have our fridge, and then right here next to Mike goes our dishwasher. So like I said, they'll all be stainless steel appliances, so we can continue on that continuity. And then this last space, Eamon is actually framing in a new window. So with lead times being as disastrous as they are right now, we didn't want to opt for a custom sized window to fit in here. So what we're doing instead is a much more, not so much economic solution, because the price would be about the same comparative to buying a new window, but just framing it out a little bit smaller and putting a window that's a little bit smaller than what was originally here. It'll still provide all that sunlight that's creeping in here right now, in order for us to keep things moving along so we can get this thing on the market, or I'm sorry, put a mortgage on it and rent it out. We decided to go with just a smaller stock size window, and that's the reason for that. So he is finishing it up, and then on the outside we will add the vinyl siding back and then cap it off with aluminum on the outside. What we're standing in right now is actually an addition, so we had to go about leveling out the floors a bit and reinforcing them, because there was a part of it before we had got the roof done. Pretty much this whole corner of the house had rotted away, and there was a beehive in there, and who knows what else, what other critters had crawled in there to basically damage the wood, and make it, not functional or not able to be used. But yeah, that pretty much is the overview. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll give you, the insights of what's going on and how we close this project out. Because, like I said, we've been here for about 7 months now, and I would say in another 3 weeks or so, I think that's what's on the schedule. We should be out of here, and then that'll be the final product. So stay tuned for more episodes on it. See you next time. Hold on to that. Early to go to school or work.